Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads and findings that came in the May 2024 Jesse James Magical Mystery Bead Box. It's called Modern Bohemian. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the unboxing video I did for this subscription in case you want to watch it, where I go over everything that came in the box and how the subscription works and the different subscription plans and all that. I have a coupon code, it's THJ10, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you $10 off whatever subscription plan you decide to sign up for. And here I have some different beads that came in the box. A lot of them are wooden beads, and these rondelle beads here, kind of a chocolatey colored rondelle. And here I've got some different spacers and bead caps that came in the box. And here I've got some findings. I've got a couple of pieces of the chain that came in the box. And from my stash, I have a little piece of extender chain I'm going to use, and a head pin, and one of the little round wooden beads that I'm going to use to dangle off the head pin. I have a lobster clasp, two 2x2 crimp tubes, two wire guardians, and some 4mm jump rings and one 8mm jump ring. As you can see from these little amount of materials, this is going to be a really simple necklace. I'm going to be using my soft flex beading wire in fine. This is the copper color. I would probably have used a heavier wire because these beads have pretty large holes, but I don't have anything heavier than fine. I really need to get some. I've got my bead stopper. I'll be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my crimping pliers, both pairs of my cutters, my bent chain nose pliers, and I've already used my memory wire cutters to cut my chain. And I've got my little Norlene shot glass to put my wire in when I cut it off. That'll just be when I do the dangle at the end of the extender chain. I think that's everything. I'll try to find links and put links to everything I'm using in the description box below that didn't come in the box. So hold on, I get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beads out here in a big old mess like I usually do. And I'm going to string this now. Like I said, this is just really easy. I'm going to start with one of these spacer beads. Then I'm going to do 3 of these little round wooden beads. And another one of these spacer beads. And one of these, I have a really big rondelle here and one that's not so big. I'm using the not so big one here. And a bead cap. And a big rondelle. And a bead cap. And another one of these smaller rondelles. And I'm going to use one of these wavy spacer beads, and I'm going to put it on from, I'm going to call this side the outside, the side that's not indented in there, I guess you'd call it. I'm going to put it in like that. Then I'm going to do one of these oval, kind of oval wooden beads, and one of these spacers, and another one of these oval beads. And then I'm going to do another wavy spacer, and I'll put this one on from the inside. And I'm going to do one of these big round wooden beads. And then another one of these spacers. And then I'm going to do this square, kind of a, I don't know, creamy colored bead, I guess. So that's what I've got now. And I'm just going to do this other side the same way. So I'm going to do one of these spacer beads, a big round wooden bead. I'll do one of these wavy spacers. I'm going to put it on from the outside. And then one of these oval wooden beads. One of these spacer beads. Another one of these oval wooden beads. A wavy spacer, and I'm going to put this one on from the inside. And then one of these smaller rondelles. A bead cap. A larger rondelle. Bead cap. Smaller rondelle. One of these spacer beads. 3 of these little round wooden beads. And one of these spacer beads. So that's what I've got. So hold on, I'll get my crimp beads and wire guardians and we'll crimp it. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my crimp beads and my wire guardians, and now I'm going to crimp. So I'm going to put my crimp tube on. And my wire guardian. I'm going to go down the other channel of my wire guardian. Back into my crimp tube. Hold my wires to keep them from being crossed. I'm going to tuck in my little wire guardian a little bit. Pull my wire through. Try to hold my wires apart, because when I crimp, I want each of those wires to land in its own little channel, and it won't do that if they're crossed. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and go in that part with the tooth. Lay the tooth on top of my crimp tube. Squeeze. That puts each little wire in its own channel. Now these crimping pliers have 3 half circles up here at the top. I'm going to go on the one in the middle because that's the one for the 2x2 crimp tubes. I'll lay my crimp in there. Squeeze. Give it a good tight squeeze. I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to take my cutters. Cut off my extra wire. Now I'm going to push all this down and cut it off my spool. I always just leave it attached to the spool if I know what my pattern's going to be, thinking that maybe I don't waste as much wire that way. Now I'm going to crimp this side. I'm going to take my crimp tube, put it on here. My other wire guardian. Go down the other channel of my wire guardian. Back into my crimp tube. Hold my wires from apart, and I like to try to go through a bead on this side to get my hands out of the way while I'm trying to crimp and center my wire guardian over the last bead. Get a hold of my little wire there. Pull it through. Now I'm going to hold my wires apart and pull my wire through. I need to tuck my little wire guardian in. Okay, now I don't want there to be any slack in my piece, but I don't want it to be too tight either. So I usually leave it rounded up like this, and that usually keeps it from being too tight. So now I'm going to Take my crimping pliers and go on the part with the tooth again. Lay the tooth on top of my crimp tube. I can get this to turn around and cooperate with me. And I'm going to squeeze. Now I'm going to go on the part with the half circles again. Lay my crimp in there and squeeze. Give it a good tight squeeze. I keep it from twisting around while I give it a good tight squeeze, and it's wanting to twist around. I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to cut off my extra wire. So that's what I've got now. So now I'm going to get my findings and put them on. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to put my findings on here now. After I crimped this, it came to 11 inches. And my little pieces of wire here are about 3 3/4 inches each. So I'm going to take my pliers and some 4mm jump rings, and I'm going to open up my jump ring, put my chain on here, put one side of my necklace on, close my jump ring back, make sure to get it closed back really well. I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Put it on my chain. The other side of my necklace on. Close my jump ring back really well. Now I'm going to go down here and take another 4mm jump ring and my lobster clasp. Open up my jump ring, put on my lobster clasp, put it on this side of my chain. Close my jump ring back really well. Now I have an 8mm jump ring. I'm not sure if it'll go through this chain. I might have to attach it with a 4mm, but I'm going to try it without it. Well, yeah, I'll go on there. Now I've got a little piece, well, jump ring just does not want to stay in my hand. Now I've got a little piece of extender chain. It's about 2 inches. I'll close my jump ring back really well. Okay. Now I'm going to take a head pin and another one of my little round wooden beads. Make a little dangle to go off my extender chain. I'm going to make a simple loop here because this head pin is pretty thick, so I don't think I can make a wrap loop with it. So I'm going to go a little bit above the bead so that I don't crack my bead. Bend the wire over a 90-degree angle. Take my cutters, and I use a different pair of cutters for head pins and eye pins and craft wire than I do for my bead stringy wire. I'm going to cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'll take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go to the tip here and make sure there's nothing sticking out. And I like to go down here pretty far on the barrel and start my loop. it's just easier for me to do that. And then I go up here to the tip and finish it so that I don't have a huge loop. Make sure to get my loop closed really well. Now I'm going to take my pliers and open my loop and thread it onto my little extender chain. I have to open it up a little bit more than that. And then I'm going to close my loop back. So there's my little dangle. So hold on, I'll get this laid out so we can see it better, and I'll be back. Okay, there's my necklace made with some of the beads and findings that came in the May 2024 Jesse James Magical Mystery Bead Box called Modern Bohemian. I tried all these beads on 1mm leather, and 1mm leather will go through all these beads. So if you wanted to put it on leather rather than bead stringing wire, you could do that. I almost did that, but I didn't. It's so hard for me to fool with those little cord ends that go on the leather with the shaking that I do, and I just didn't feel like struggling with it today because I'm not feeling it all well today. So I decided to go the easy route and just put it on bead stringing wire, but you could do it on leather if you want to. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to the box, that coupon code will save you $10 off whatever subscription plan you decide to sign up for. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.